Hello and welcome to episode 231 of WITM, in which Andrew is going to be in Cruiserweight action. He's going to be taking on TJP, formerly known as TJ Perkins. Before that, Andrew is in the ring, microphone in hand. Let's hear what he has to say. Oh, wrong clip. Andrew speaks. It shouldn't come to anyone's surprise that I am a very busy man. I, of course, am general manager of 205 Live. I am a trainer for NXT and have taken it upon myself personally to make sure my friend Corey gets an opportunity to return to the main roster. And those are just my duties outside the ring. In the ring, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn is fast approaching, where I will be defending my NXT Championship against 5 other men inside of the Hell in a Cell. SummerSlam is approaching as well, and I have my eyes on regaining the Cruiserweight Championship. So you may ask, with all of that on my plate, how do I possibly keep up? Well, lucky for me, I now have a little help. So, my new personal assistant, Titus O'Neil. Make your way to the ring.
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
Make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move, make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move, make it move, make it move, make it million.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Sound people. That's not going to be his theme here anymore. Play that other song I selected for Titus. Andrew continues to speak. Titus, did you complete everything on that list I gave you? Titus responds, Yes, sir. Your office has been vacuumed and dusted. I've installed a mini fridge stocked to the brim with several varieties of naked juice. And you'll find a nice fruit bowl waiting for you on your desk with fresh, just picked local produce. Your wrestling gear is cleaned, ironed, and pressed. Your wrestling boots are polished. Andrew responds, "Excellent. Well done. Now, Titus, what is on my schedule for the rest of the evening?" Titus responds, "Well, Andrew, you're scheduled to compete tonight in a match with TJP. I'll be sure to meet with you 20 minutes prior to your match to lace up your wrestling boots. I wouldn't want you to hurt your back bending over prior to such a big match. Afterwards, I've made reservations for you to that hot new vegan restaurant downtown. They were already booked solid for the next 2 weeks, but I made it happen. Anything for you, Andrew. I've also made reservations for you in a luxury suite at the Hilton. On me, of course. I've told the staff to be sure to customize your room and replace any leather furniture, and to make any and all bathroom products vegan friendly. You'll also be served with a gourmet vegan breakfast upon you waking up." Andrew responds, "Excellent. I think I'm going to like having an assistant. Now, go backstage, enjoy a well-earned 5-minute break, and then report back to me."
Looking at this car, I just gotta rub my hands together and smile. Singles action on tap right now. We have one of the best
Alright,
talents
so
on
it
the
looks
roster today.
like
A
Titus
match I am
O'Neil has
sure we
taken
will
the
not
route
soon forget.
of being Andrew's personal assistant to make up for him sliding the chair under the ring 2 weeks ago, aiding Akira Tozawa in an attack behind the scenes of the referee, or behind the back of the referee, as Titus distracted the referee. Andrew says, though you did not do it personally, that is a violation of the rule that a non-cruiserweight cannot attack a cruiserweight. And now Titus O'Neil, Andrew's personal assistant, has to wear that yellow and pink dress and do whatever Andrew desires for him, pay for his hotel room, prepare him meals, clean his office and locker room, whatever Andrew desires. But now Andrew must turn his attention to matters inside the ring, as he's going to be taking on a former Cruiserweight champion, TJP. Before that, we'll get the results of the matches prior to that. Now on his own, no more Titus O'Neil to lead him. Akira Tozawa defeats Brian Kendrick. And Mustafa Ali defeats Rich Swann. Alright, and now it's time for our in-ring action for episode 231. As Andrew looks to remain the number one contender to the Cruiserweight title, taking on a former Cruiserweight champion in his own right, TJP. So let's get underway with our episode 231 match. Andrew in Cruiserweight action against TJP.
Singles action is up next. You're not going to want to miss this.
Nor my commentary.
We have a real fan favorite taking on some tough competition.
Well, this should be a lot of fun. Let's watch.
Alright, and here we
Singles
go.
action
Sorry
is
about the
underway,
issues
and in
with
this one, I wouldn't
TJP's
attempt to predict
entrance.
what's going to happen.
Music, my
I'd just
computer's
be
been
ready for
having some
anything.
issues with
Sometimes that's all you can do.
Now, there's
today
no telling what we're going to
with
see
my
here.
new
Best job in the
Spotify, which
real
is what I
world,
use
right
to
here. Well, regardless,
capture the
WWE
music for the
fans here
videos.
in Colorado Springs
Anyways,
know their
to the
stuff,
in-ring
and they
action.
expect a show
We have a
like no
drop
other.
kick by TJP. And now, wasting no time, looking to take flight.
I don't like
These
his
two
entire
men
face.
have definite history, as One of our first big storylines of WITM Season 3, for those who hadn't joined yet, was
No kidding, this is gonna need some serious medical
TJP, as
attention.
he did in real life, won the Cruiserweight Classic. However, in Season 2, Andrew had
I think we're about to see a high-risk move from the
restarted the
top rope.
Cruiserweight division before WWE did in real life at 205 Live. And when ECW closed following the Season 2 finale, Andrew was still the Cruiserweight champion. Now, technically, everything that belonged to ECW was supposed to
We have a first here this
be
evening.
done away with. However, Andrew proved that, according to the contract, because WWE decided to continue the Cruiserweight division, Andrew is still considered the champion. And so at Extreme Rules, Andrew and TJP faced off to determine the true Cruiserweight champion. Andrew would go on to win that match and gain his first WWE Cruiserweight Championship, then called the Undisputed Cruiserweight Championship.
An early pin attempt.
Come on, Red.
Now both these men would love to have
We got
a
lot of match left.
Cruiserweight title opportunity against Lince Dorado
Boy, I've never
at
seen him do
one of the
that
biggest
before.
pay-per-views of the year,
You saw
SummerSlam.
that one coming.
Andrew currently in the driver's seat, sitting in that #1 contendership spot,
Oh my goodness. What a
in control of his own destiny. Now back to the in-ring action. Uppercut by Andrew.
He's starting to
Reversal by
feel it here.
TJP.
This could be the start of an ugly downward spiral if he's not careful.
I tell you, we knew this was going to be a close affair.
Suplex by
but I don't think we
TJP.
expected it to be this tight.
Goes
That
for
can't be
cover.
enough, can it? Look at this action, and there's still plenty
Andrew
to
powers
come.
out at 1.5.
Yeah, let's go.
Reversal by Andrew.
A few moves are as effective as a
And a
well-executed
DDT plunging the
DDT.
head of TJP into the canvas. Andrew goes for cover.
Here's a cover. Can you believe, King, this battle's not over yet?
Yeah, but many more of those, and it will be.
Kick to the back of TJP.
This is simply
And
amazing.
Andrew taking
leaping
flight, springboard,
ability.
I wish I could
frog
leap
splash
like that.
connect,
Oh,
stomp
he
to the
missed.
back.
Oh, nobody home that time.
A punch.
I don't know if we've seen that
Knees
from
to
him
the back
before.
of
I mean, it's
TJP
definitely
and a
first time.
DDT.
This is great. This guy will try anything.
Well, man,
Now
he's
mounted
going off here.
punches.
I don't know if this is by design or if he just... Oh, he looks like he's in no man's land here. He
Drags
needs to be able to put
TJP
things
closer
back
center
together
ring
here.
and goes for cover.
He's got the shoulders down, Cole.
This could, and he kicks out before the referee's 3 count.
TJP
What do you
powers
have
out
to
at
do to
1.
keep this guy down?
Oh, no.
Headbutt to the head of TJP. Kick to the back.
Keep your eye on
Andrew
this
looking
one.
to take
This
flight.
should be good. Off the top rope.
Diving elbow drop.
Man, oh man, did he take a wild swing with that one.
You're right.
There's a
That
punch.
was wild indeed. Good thing we're over here.
Face buster, and that's going to bust open
As
TJP.
this guy. I think we know what
And
this
there's a
is.
rolling knee bar. Last week he made Neville tap out.
Locked in.
But this time TJP is going to catch a rope break. Drags TJP closer center ring. Vintage Andrew here, stomping the Andrew stomps. Stomping away at every part of the body of TJP.
Big stop.
Man, these guys are throwing bombs. They're pulling out all the stops. Stay down.
And now looking
Stay
to finish
down.
things off with that devastating flatline. Not many people kick out of the flatline.
The dog
It
man.
connects.
Now that
Andrew goes for
is-
cover.
There's the pin. Can his opponent kick out?
And picks up the victory. Remains the #1 contender, heading as we inch closer and closer to SummerSlam.
tonight, so Andrew remains number 1 contender, and he'll get to celebrate his victory.
Here we go, the main event. Singles action coming your way. We have one of the best talents on the roster to date in a match of epic proportions.
He'll get to celebrate his victory in just about the best way a vegan can, with fresh local produce awaiting him in his locker room, a well-stocked refrigerator with several varieties of naked juice, a vegan dinner at a hot new vegan restaurant, and a luxury suite at the Hilton customized to fit a vegan's needs. Alright, so Lince Dorado, the Cruiserweight Champion, defeats Gran Metalik in non-title action. And we will see how those results affect the rankings on 205 Live and seek out our next matchup. Hey, I made it to the right menu on the first try. Akira Tozawa defeated Brian Kendrick. Tozawa moves up to number 5 and then swaps with Kendrick, who moves down to 5, so Akira Tozawa moves up 2 spots, number 4. Mustafa Ali defeated Rich Swann. Ali moves up to number 8. Swann falls down to number 11. Andrew defeated TJP. Andrew remains the number 1 contender. TJP falls to number 13. Lince Dorado defeated Gran Metalik. Dorado is champion, and Metalik falls to number 4, which means Akira Tozawa moves up a 3rd spot to number 3. And the top 5 contenders to the Cruiserweight Championship held by Lince Dorado are number 1, Andrew. Number 2, Noam Dar. Number 3, Akira Tozawa. Number 4, Gran Metalik. And number 5, Brian Kendrick. And now we advance to Raw, where we'll see if the Intercontinental Champion Gerald is in action. And not pictured there with the rest of the champions, so it appears unfortunately he would not be. And that is indeed the case, and so we will sim. Seems like similar to Corey when he became Intercontinental Champion early in Season 3. For some reason, becoming a champion equals not getting booked. We may have to allow him to compete on main event again in order to hopefully get some bookings, even though he's a champion, and normally champions would not compete on main event. Dean Ambrose, the Universal Champion, defeated Braun Strowman in non-title action. Baron Corbin defeated Murphy and Enzo Amore. Raw Women's Champion Asuka defeated Aaliyah in non-title action. New Day defeated The Miz Taraj. The Revival with a non-title victory over Raw Tag Team Champions Sheamus and Cesaro. The Usos defeated the Authors of Pain. And Kevin Owens defeated Bobby Roode. And we'll see how those rankings, or those results rather, affect Raw. Starting as usual with the Raw women. Asuka defeated Aaliyah. Asuka is champion, and Aaliyah falls to number 7. And the top 5 contenders to the Raw Women's Championship held by Asuka are number 1, Nikki Bella. Number 2, Liv Morgan. Number 3, Bayley. Number 4, Dana Brooke. And number 5, Lana. Now the Raw Tag Team Division. New Day defeated, we had 3 tag team matches. New Day defeated The Miz, Taraj. New Day moves up to number 1. Miz, Taraj falls to number 5. The Revival defeated Sheamus and Cesaro. So they're going to move up 2 slots for the non-title victory. They will overtake the New Day despite them winning and become number 1 contenders. The Usos defeated the Authors of Pain. Usos move up to number 5. Authors of Pain fall to number 4. And the top 5 contenders for the Raw Tag Team Championship, held by Cesaro and Sheamus, are number 1, The Revival. Number 2, The New Day. Number 3, The Hype Bros. Number 4, Authors of Pain. And number 5, The Usos. And then, surprisingly, I guess we had more than one singles match, never mind. To the Intercontinental title rankings. Dean Ambrose defeated Braun Strowman. Ambrose is not in these rankings, but Strowman is. And he falls to number 21. Baron Corbin defeated Buddy Murphy and Enzo Amore. Corbin moves up to number 3. Murphy remains at the bottom, number 26, and Enzo moves second from the bottom, number 25. Kevin Owens defeated Bobby Roode. Roode falls outside the top 5 to number 6. And Owens moves up to number 16. And the top 5 contenders to the Intercontinental Championship, held by Gerald, are number 1, Sheamus. Number 2, The Miz. Number 3, Baron Corbin. Number 4, Xavier Woods. And number 5, Big E. And now we move on to SmackDown. We'll see if Dalton Roush is in action. And the Go Home SmackDown Live before Battleground, the SmackDown Live exclusive pay-per-view. And that is not Chris Jericho, but rather the custom attire for Titus. So looks like I'll have to create a custom attire for Jericho, so that doesn't happen. And Dalton Roush gets to show off as well. Okay, I does not want to book WITM characters today. So we will advance to NXT after jotting down the results, and we'll see if Corey is in action. We may just be skipping right ahead to Battleground at this rate. Seth Rollins defeats Samoa Joe, Dean Ambrose, and Chad Gable. So that's an untitled victory for Rollins, with Ambrose being involved. Not Titus O'Neil in the assistant's outfit, but Chris Jericho defeats Sin Cara. The Hardy Boys defeat the Colognes. Becky Lynch defeats Natalya and Tamina. Mickie James defeats Charlotte. Real life WWE Champion Jinder Mahal defeats the man who will potentially be his opponent for the WWE title at SummerSlam in real life, John Cena. And Roman Reigns defeats AJ Styles. And we'll get those results as well, and then continue to seek out our next WITM matchup. Starting off as usual with the SmackDown women. Becky Lynch defeated Natalya and Tamina. Becky remains number 1 contender. Natalya falls to number 4. And Tamina falls to number 3. However, Mickie James defeated Charlotte. That is a non-title victory. So, despite Becky Lynch winning, Mickie James becomes number 1 contender. And the top 5 contenders to the SmackDown Women's Championship, held by Charlotte, are number 1, Mickie James, number 2, Becky Lynch, number 3, Tamina, number 4, Natalya, and number 5, Alexa Bliss. And now the the tag rankings. The Hardy Boys defeated the Colognes. The Hardy Boys are champions, and the Colognes fall to number 4. And the top 5 contenders to the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, held by the Hardy Boys, are number 1, The Club, number 2, Beauty and the Man Beast, number 3, The Ascension, number 4, The Colognes, and number 5, Titus Worldwide. And now the U.S. title rankings. Seth Rollins defeated Samoa Joe, Dean Ambrose, and Chad Gable. Rollins is not in these rankings. Samoa Joe is. He moves down to number 9. Ambrose is champion, and Gable falls to number 11. Chris Jericho defeated Sin Cara, so Jericho moves up to number 11. Sin Cara falls down to number 11. So Jericho's going to move up 2 spots into the top 10 at number 10. Jinder Mahal defeated John Cena. They swap spots. Mahal to number 3, Cena to number 4. And Roman Reigns defeated AJ Styles. Styles remains at the bottom, number 14. And Reigns moves into the top 5 at number 5. And the top 5 contenders to the United States Championship, held by Dean Ambrose, are number 1, Dalton Roush, number 2, Apollo Crews, number 3, Jinder Mahal, number 4, John Cena, and number 5, Roman Reigns. So good news for Dalton Roush. Despite getting a week off on SmackDown Live, remains number 1 contender to the U.S. title, with Battleground just 5 days away. Now the WWE Championship rankings. Seth Rollins defeated Samoa Joe, Dean Ambrose, and Chad Gable. That's going to move him up 2 spots for the non-title victory to number 2. And neither of those other men are in these rankings. Chris Jericho defeated Sin Cara. That's going to move him up to number 4, unfortunately, forcing Dalton down to number 5. So looking unlikely, unfortunately, that Dalton will get a WWE title opportunity, but still number 1 contender to U.S. title if Ambrose defends that title, because he'll be defending his WWE title, I would assume, and doesn't usually book champions in more than 1 match, but we'll see what happens come Battleground. Jinder Mahal defeated John Cena. Cena falls to number 2, which means Rollins will take over the number 1 contendership. Mahal is not in these rankings. Roman Reigns defeats AJ Styles. Reigns moves up to number 2. Styles falls to number 8. And the top 5 contenders to the WWE Championship, held by Dean Ambrose, are number 1, Seth Rollins, number 2, Roman Reigns, number 3, John Cena, number 4, Chris Jericho, and number 5, Dalton Roush. So the Shield dominating over on SmackDown, holding the WWE Championship and the top 2 contenderships. And the United States title also belongs to Dean Ambrose. Alright, we advance over to NXT. Will we see Corey in action on NXT? We will. He's going to be taking on the man he got his first victory on NXT against, the United Kingdom champion Tyler Bate. And since this is a non-hardcore match, Corey will be accompanied in that match by the NXT champion Andrew. So that is going to do it for episode number 231 of WITM. Until 232, this is Corey signing off.